Everyone, this is going to be a little bit of a weird episode. Some of you may know from previous videos that my original interest in high school was not in science and engineering. It was actually in music, and I was a pretty serious high school trombone player. And when I went to audition for music schools, I picked two of the hardest trombone schools to get into. That was the Eastman School of Music, where in the town where I grew up in Rochester, which is where I am now at the beautiful University of Rochester, of which the Eastman School of Music is a part. And I also applied to the trombone program at Northwestern University. And one of the things that I thought about at the time was that I wanted to perform, but I didn't want to teach. And so I thought, well, if I can't get into my top two music programs, then I'm going to do science. And so that is actually what I ended up doing. And so I played really seriously. I studied with a student of the great Emory Remington at Eastman School of Music. His name was Dave Ritchie, who was the bass trombonist of the Rochester Philharmonic Orchestra for like 30 years or something. I played hours and hours a day. I took, auditions. I was in all the area bands and all those things that took audition tapes and stuff. And so then I played one. So how good did I end up getting? I don't know, because I lost the recording of this, but my senior high school recital, I played the Bluebells of Scotland, and not like any professional level or anything, but I did hit all the octave slurs and I did get all the high notes, and I played it up to tempo with double tonguing and triple tonguing, and so I felt pretty good about that, even though at that point I knew I wasn't going to go into music. Okay, then I played for one semester at Boston University when I was an engineering major and later a chemistry major at Boston University. And I played for one semester in the community orchestra at BU. And then I gave up the trombone because it was too hard to carry it 2.5 miles down the Commonwealth Ave to the far end of campus. So I didn't play the trombone at all. Zero for 23 years until 2 months ago. And why 2 months ago? Well, it's hard to go anywhere at University of Rochester without being exposed to a great number of ensembles from the Eastman School of Music. And at freshman convocation, I happened to be sitting next to two Eastman faculty members, and they convinced me to pick up a horn again. Now, the problem is I didn't own a trombone again. So I thought, well, now that I have some, I earn a professional salary, what trombone could I get? Like the instrument that I had played, I had two really nice horns by the time I graduated high school. I had a Bach 42 AG with a Hagman valve and a gold brass bell. And then I had a Silver King Liberty from 1929, which I bought from a local music store in Hilton, New York. But I had sold those when I moved from my apartment in grad school to California in 2010. And it was also to pay off not only the moving expenses, why didn't I get paid from Stanford for my moving expenses? Anyway, and so I was also paying off debt from my wife's engagement ring. So what did I have that was worth some chunk of money? Well, my horns, and I sold them to a shop on consignment. And when they weren't selling on consignment, I just sold them straight up to the store and got, like $1,400 for the two of them, which sounds like I sold my soul as well. And now that I have much more than $1,400, what would I buy? Now, it turns out I spent even less than $1,400, which is great. But what would I buy? Well, what's the most kind of iconic trombone? It is the Elkhart Indiana-made Conn88H. And this particular one, I looked at the serial number. This is from 1967, and I got it on from a player on eBay, and it was all banged up, and the slide was kind of jammed, and it had a lot of resonances in it, like a lot of shaking and stuff. And so I took it to, so one of the nice things about working at University of Rochester is that the Eastman School of Music is part of U of R, and so you can start typing an email address into Outlook and it will auto-populate. So I reached out to Professor Larry Zalkind, the one of the instructors, the trombone professor, is super famous trombonist in his own right, and he recommended me to Thomas Music in Rochester, specifically the town of Irondequoit. And the folks there whacked out all the dents, got the trigger working really silently, so you can like barely hear it, and the tuning slide's working awesome, and it's great. I love it. There are some idiosyncrasies that are different from the Bach I had in grad school, or I'm sorry, grad school, what am I talking about? In high school. One is that you don't have a cork stopper in first position, you have a spring, and so that takes a little bit of getting used to. Like, this is first position, and then this is like a sharp first position. The other thing is that I had an open wrap F attachment in high school, and now I have a traditional wrap F attachment, so it takes a little bit more effort when you engage the trigger. I feel, so the bell resonates at about a very sharp F, not quite enough sharp, but a sharp F. The slide is pretty, it's pretty loosened up. There is a little bit of pitting all the way on the slide stocking, but what can you expect for an instrument that's almost 60 years old? And what else about this horn? Yeah, it's in good shape. There's a little bit of a resonance at G and F sharp, and it rings a little bit in my ear. I'm not sure if that's normal or if something needs to be tightened somewhere, but overall I got this for $850 on eBay. I was like clicking at the last minute to get the to make sure that I won the auction. Then it was another $350 to get it finished. The tech did not want to buff it and re-lacquer it. I just didn't think it would be a good idea, but I just wanted to see, because it would change the sound of this kind of legendary horn, and there aren't that many of them left around. So I'm super proud to own this. I don't think it's the only large bore tenor F attachment trombone that I'm gonna have. I'll probably get a more modern one as well, but this is great. And yesterday I sent in an audition audition video to the director of the the University of Rochester Wind Symphony, which takes community players like faculty, and so I got in. So I'll be playing at University of Rochester. So here it is for a nice thumbnail image, and yep. All right. Thank you for indulging me with this trombone video. Talk soon. Bye.